XMTIC. Welcome to the X Fine Sexy, baby. Oh, we are Xotic, Yeyo. Ayo. Oh, we're getting closer to the holiday times. Wait till we ring in the bells, those sleigh bells that make you feel sexy, baby. While we talking sexy music, let me introduce these sexy mother jammers. Bass player of Xotic, Yeyo, give it up to the bass rider, baby. And then to the right of me, we got C Rome off the dome, plays the keyboard like you don't know. What? And then all the way to the right, we got the Doctor. He puts the DR in drums. Give it up to our main man, Cody Orange. Yeah, I'm Stu Sauce. We're gonna keep things hot, baby. Saucy, bossy, make you flossing. What?
You do teach middle school, elementary school?
Middle school.
Middle school, that's right.
And they floss way better than I do.
Hey, listen, I saw him in the parking lot rehearsing that earlier, so.
No, he didn't. And if he did, he got it on candid camera and you will see it, maybe. So let's jump into this one. Not only do we have a doctor in the house who's going to resuscitate us into tomorrow, baby, we have a doctor that everybody knows and loves and makes this kind of music that, well, he doesn't make it, but he produces it, you know. He's like the producer of, well, all the music I listened to between 4th grade and, like, high school. And this man's name is Dr. Dre. His music is sexier than a Dr. Phil episode. I think he's the real doctor. I think if anybody deserves the first name Doctor, it's definitely not Dr. Phil, and it's definitely that Dr. Dre, Mother Jamma.
Well, let's do order of operations here. First, you listen to Dr. Dre, then you end up on Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
There you go.
And if that doesn't work out, you end up on Maury Povich.
Yes. And if all those fail, Jerry.
Yeah, right.
There's a progression.
There's a proper.
I mean, not everybody could be the Catch Me Outside girl. You know, how about that? But you know what? Something I love about Dr. Dre is how he's helped a lot of people come up. Now, don't confuse this Dr. Dre with the original Dr. Dre of MTV Raps, who, well, has a GoFundMe. This one's a bajillionaire. He is doing just fine. He's probably still making records of people you don't even know yet, but you will in the next 5 years. Because that's how Dr. Dre works.
Yeah.
Do you remember when he came out? I don't know if it was the Grammys or the MTV Awards or something, but suddenly one day he came out and he was all jacked.
Oh, yeah.
He walks out on stage and he's jacked like crazy. He's just jacked.
I forgot what award show that was, but it was like
MTV Awards.
Was it the MTV Awards?
Eminem, right? I forgot about Dre kind of thing.
I don't know. I think he was getting some sort of like Lifetime Award, Vanguard Award, something. And he came
walked
out
looking like a damn kangaroo.
He
like, oh my god,
Jack! You know it's bad when you look like you got to scratch your head like this.
Oh my god! Yes. I was like, what happened to Dr.
He pulled a Dave Chappelle.
He did pull a Dave Chappelle.
What did he do? Go to
But it was
Africa
worse.
during the
Dave
height of his
Chappelle,
career?
because Dave Chappelle was wiry. You know, he was like a wiry guy, and suddenly he filled out, and he obviously worked out, and now he looks kind of normal, just like an older version. Dr. Dre was, you know, he was out of shape.
Could I say Carrot Top instead? Because that was scary.
Yes.
That was so
He's
scary.
a rapper.
Yeah, he is. Right.
Yeah, Carrot Top's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That was a scary.
He's like the
sight to see.
Vanilla Ice of really muscular comedians.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
He came out.
Yeah.
But all right, let's. Besides that, the man's a legend. Dr. Dre's a legend.
He's a
production legend. He is more than anyone West Coast rap music.
Mm-hmm.
He created that sound that then became signature.
And he created so many careers.
Yeah, he did.
Yes,
No
he
Snoop
did.
Dogg without Dre, no
That's
Eminem
right.
without Dre, no Nate Dogg, no Corrupt, no... The list goes on and on.
No return of great hip-hop music like some of the Sugar Hill Gang material that you get to see resurface with Dr. Dre.
That's right.
None of that Parliament Funkadelic stuff that you see with a lot of Snoop Dogg's productions with Dr. Dre. Now, this guy producing Animal. This guy has produced more awesome music that people smoke weed to than Bob Marley.
Hey.
Marketing genius. Branded weed before weed was like not taboo. Beats.
Mm-hmm.
Sold you all these headphones for twice the price of the same Sony
In
headphones.
2001, his album cover had a small weed leaf on it and just the date that it came out. 2001.
Yeah.
Like, yo, I could tell you what this guy was doing when he produced this album.
Yeah.
His classic album is called The Chronic.
That's right.
It's called The Chronic. So, I mean, it goes way further back than that.
Dude, he needed a comic called Bluntman and Chronic. Yeah, but that was already taken.
That's someone else.
Yeah, that's Kevin Smith. Kudos, baby. Now, before we get into some dogmatic stuff, the dogma of, Bluntman and Chronic, we need to talk about Return of the Chronic, right? That was Chronic.
That was the second one, yeah.
That was the second one. The first one was the Chronic of Narnia. No, I'm kidding.
Damn weirdo.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I just weed a lot.
You know what? Let's get into this.
Yeah, let's do it.
Why don't we start you?
For
This
the
boy's
record,
way too excited.
listen, for the record, he rehearsed that joke in the parking lot.
He
too.
I
certainly
got
did.
to choose which producer we picked
He
this
was
time.
He was writing this joke today in class
Yeah.
during study hours. You guys read that book and shut up.
Let me
That's
tell
right.
you what, that one was on
I'm
the
gonna
fly.
write weed jokes. Weed jokes for
I don't
tonight.
write
Dr.
weed
Dre.
jokes at work. What I do is I write poop songs when I'm pooping on the clock. Y'all think I'm joking, bro. I've got a whole album of them. I'm like 3 poop songs deep. That's how much pooping on the clock I do. Pooping on the clock, pooping on the clock. And before we poop on the clock some more, we need to talk about this bad doctor.
So let's go back to Sierra.
Yeah.
Tell me more, dude. Tell me what your number 1 song is.
Well, not to keep with the poop references, but my top song is Explosive.
With 2 X's.
I really hate this segue, man.
Yeah,
I really
yeah.
hate it. I feel like I'm
Wow.
undermining all my chances to win number 1.
You know what I think this reference is to shiz.
Oh boy.
Explosive off of the 2001 record. Back to Dre's branding genius. What's this whole thing about Dr. Dre's dead? He's locked in my basement. That I don't know. I'm too young to intimately know that, but Explosive is probably one of the best, if not, in my opinion, the best showcase of how Dr. Dre can bring so much talent together into the room, crank out a really dope song, and have his flavor in it with something a little different. So in this case, instead of being really driven by synths, which I think all of your songs are really synth driven, this is one where Dr. Dre really shows the power of and his mind on the guitar. I know he doesn't do the playing, but whoever he brings in to play the guitar throughout his music, it's usually like this clean, like plinky thing, but there's a little bit more going on in Explosive.
He works with some really dope artists, none of the names of which I know, but I've seen videos of him making albums when MTV was really putting music and the people involved in music making into the spotlight, and he had a really good team. I feel like his studio, other than being ginormous and very modernized and ready for what's to come next, because all these artists are making stuff for the future. All of them have these future production ideas, because you can't be worried about what's going on now, because it's going to be over before you know it, whatever's going on right now. And so he was always a step ahead. His artists that he uses, his studio session people, so ahead, very eclectic. So I wish I knew this guy's name. If you guys know his name, or if you are that guy, let us know in the comments, baby. And don't be afraid to check us out on Spotify, where you can hear some of our hip-hop songs like Mothership, or our brand new track. What was it called? Yellow Funky Moon Boots. I didn't forget. Not enough weed references for me to forget.
So since you took over anyways, what is your choice?
Oh man! So out of all of his songs, keep their mother, you know what, heads ringing. Keep the heads ringing. I love that song. It was the main track in Friday. Not to be confused with Friday After Next or Next Friday. All great movies with Ice Cube. I don't believe in cancel culture. To me, he's still part of the culture. That dude's a G. He was definitely better, in my opinion, in the movie Higher Learning. Awesome movie. But again, keep their heads ringing.
Ice Cube got canceled?
It's a long story.
Oh, okay.
It's a very long
It's a good thing I'm not up with the times with that.
No, I think you are, but it's something that happened, and then it kind of like unhappened, because he's really good with letting people know with that snarly look that he has.
Oh, right, yeah.
You know, it's something that happened.
All right,
Don't
cool.
worry.
I wouldn't even bring it up. He scares me more than Floyd Mayweather scares me.
Yeah.
I'll make more Floyd Mayweather jokes before I make another Ice Cube joke.
Yeah,
If you put a bra on, Floyd Mayweather would scare you more.
Yeah.
Yeah, he beat me down like he does all these other. Anyways, before I tell you how much Floyd Mayweather is like John Lennon, I'm gonna pass the baton.
So I'll take it there. I picked Let It Ride from The Chronic. To me, The Chronic is the Dr. Dre album, just to begin with. That's definitely something you can listen from end to end. It's one of those classic hip-hop albums with 20-some tracks, a bunch of skits in between, and all that kind of stuff.
A lot of Snoop Dogg.
A lot of Snoop Dogg. Well, Snoop Dogg was his boy, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
And, but it's got that whistle synth that I like so much.
That thing hisses.
It does.
The track.
Well, it's a Moog, It's an actual real deal analog Moog that he's playing. So, really cool gear. And I have to say that even I have been influenced by Dr. Dre's style, even though he used a lot of samples. And actually in Let It Ride, he uses Mothership Connection.
Okay.
And he uses Funky Drummer as samples. And one more. 3 classic songs, tracks. Yeah. He samples them to put together Let It Ride. Then he does his own little thing on the Moog, right? But that whole style, I've always studied it. It's very interesting to me. It's not natural to me as far as how I approach music. So whatever's not natural to me, I get super interested in it to see if I can incorporate it. And finally, I got to incorporate in one of our tracks in Green, which unless you've actually, we haven't even played that live. So
yeah, we have.
Have we played it?
Yeah, we played it at the BB&T Center for
that's right.
Pucks and Pines. We introduced it. And we got a good response. It was really nice.
So then, if you were there, then you heard it. But in any case, that was the first song where I was able to apply some of those movements in the music. And I'm gonna take a page out of Stu's book here. I was using the ninth in there to take the song in a certain
I'm gonna take one out of the book of Rod. These people don't know what you're talking about. They don't even care about how this music theory thing works.
They do not care. It's totally true.
And if you think I'm full of poo-poo, just tell me in the comments. Be like, stew sauce. I do care.
Suffice to say that it's a special note that is used there. I think the first person who started using it a lot in popular music was Hendrix, actually, using the ninth a lot. But anyways, let's not get into the nitty-gritty of that. It's very signature. It's a very signature type sound, and I got to apply it in our song Green, playing bass for the first time. So my choice, Let It Ride from The Chronic.
Very good.
Doctor.
Very good. I do want to say, I never thought that we'd be a group that would incorporate hip-hop into what we try to, create and everything.
My bad.
No, it's all good. I like that. It just shows how we pull from different, whatever we like, we pull from.
Exactly.
It's not a mainstream thing. It's actually pretty cool. I want, from Prince to Dr. Dre.
To Dr. Dre.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. Okay. I gotta say, my song is Nothing But a G Thing.
The classic.
Yeah, Is that from The Chronic too?
That is from The Chronic
that's
too.
what I thought.
Yes, it is.
1 to the 2. Yeah. Finish it?
3 to the 4.
Thank you very much. It's just my song. I'm not all that way familiar with Dr. Dre. Never have been.
But he's familiar with The Chronic.
I am. I will say that. I'm familiar with The Chronic and with Beats headphones, okay? I'm a Beats boy.
That's a story for another podcast. We have to get into that because that made him some money.
Yeah, man. It made his wife some money too. Anyway.
Hey! Good thing he's not like Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah. I think his wife actually lost that settlement or whatever it was, but still. Anyway, no, that's my song. Nothing But a G Thing, baby. Dre's just one of those guys, honestly. I look at him as the ultimate producer. So he's got great music. Everything he puts out, you can't name one bad Dr. Dre song. But it's even more interesting to look and delve into his life as a producer, who he's touched as an artist.
So many.
You're right. There would be no Eminem, for example. I'm a huge Eminem fan. Maybe we could do him one episode. I don't know. We'll see. But you hear a lot of Dre in Eminem.
You hear a lot of Dre in a lot of things.
Yeah, in a lot of things.
I wanted, let me be honest, I wanted to pick California Love, but
man.
it's not.
Right.
It's more Tupac.
Right.
But it sounds so Dre, man.
Right.
It sounds so Dre.
It's because of that Zapp and Roger sample, man.
Yeah,
And
man.
it has to do with the way Dre uses funk
Yes.
in a lot of his samples.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like he's a big influence on people like Thundercat right
Absolutely.
now.
Totally.
And like all these funk samples, like the good ones.
Mhm.
I forget the name of the guy who he samples for the first Eminem album,
Mhm.
but a lot of that is this R&B funk music.
Yeah.
That is just like it
Yeah.
floors you. You just like you hear like when I hear the original sound, I can't even not think of how Dr. Dre reinvented the song.
Yeah.
Like even the song I chose, that's a funky hip hop track from prior to that, before like gangster rap was really being an implemented thing into mainstream media. When hip hop was to build up the community before it was to bring down the community.
Sure.
Not saying Dr. Dre brings down the community.
Sure.
If anything, he definitely revolutionized a counterculture of people who, again, like the Chronic as much as these two guys.
Yeah. He's a genius. I think that kind of goes without saying. Thank you for that. But yes, I have to say Dr. Dre is nothing short of being a genius.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So,
Pretty much.
He's what you call a G thing.
I mean, hello.
Nothing but a G thing.
There you go. But I can go on and on about it really, but the man was smart.
Mm-hmm.
Still is very
Still
smart.
is.
Knows how to do a good business deal in music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Again, you can't name one bad Dr. Dre track, can you?
No, and I bet you can name a bunch of Dr. Dre tracks that his name's not on it. Because
Right.
like what we discussed when we talked about Pharrell and the Neptunes,
Yeah.
all it takes is one or two elements to really identify that's a Dre beat for sure.
Yes.
I was listening to Jay-Z thinking that we were doing Jay-Z today.
I saw that.
And I was listening to the Blueprint 2.
Yeah.
And the second song is called The Watcher 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm listening, I'm like, when does Eminem come in? I thought Eminem is on this track. And then I realized it's just The Watcher from the 2001 album,
Yeah.
repurposed, and Jay-Z just threw stuff over. I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
this is the East-West crossover that everybody loves.
There you go.
And that's how you know Dre is revolutionizing the whole entire hip hop culture.
Totally.
When you have people like Jay-Z who bring this East Coast vibe with the horns and things,
Yeah.
really trying to mimic what Dre is doing, or using what Dre is doing as a foundational point for his music, like that dog whistle that comes from the Moog.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That might as well be the same kind of effect that we're getting from the horns in a Jay-Z track.
Yes.
But Jay-Z uses a lot of production of Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, just because that there's an East Coast, West Coast thing. I'll call it the thing. Because it's what's really driving this music industry is money. If there's no drama, who's going to watch?
Yeah.
Well, and then, like, the fact that they both kind of stem from the Tupac and the Biggie arena is like Jay-Z was like he always sells himself as Biggie's protege, and with Dre's history from NWA and circling with Tupac and making beats for Tupac, they literally were the legacy carriers of that rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not there was a real rivalry, that is, I guess, up to whoever really wants to believe in the soap opera. But
Sure. But it sold records, man.
It sold records,
Yeah.
and that's the
Records,
big
sure.
thing. I feel like money is the motive, and
Absolutely.
for them, it sold for you. It made you want to buy it. It made me want to buy it. I don't mind buying into the hype because the music was good.
Right.
I'm only hoping that whoever's still keeping up with this East Coast, West Coast rivalry, your music better be good, or else I'm disappointed in you fighting. It's like, I don't know, when the South didn't want to concede after, like, I don't know, the year 2014. It's over.
Well, it's long overdue because we've now got the Chicago scene and the Atlanta scene. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I really like Puya. I mean, he might not be a sign that the Miami scene is going to come up, but that's one good hip hop artist out of here.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm giving.
I felt
you
like
guys.
Pitbull was a really good artist out of here.
I
He was.
think he's still.
And then
Yeah, that hip hop
Then
moniker was short lived.
Yeah, he dropped the artistry pretty quickly.
Yeah.
He's still a very smart businessman, but we're not talking about Pitbull right here. So
Nope.
let's break it down. Actually, let's do that.
All right.
Let's do it.
Take it away. You can be number 4.
Be number 4. All right. I'm gonna break the thing, and I'm gonna go keep their heads ringing as my number 4.
Of course he will.
Oh wait, I did it wrong. No.
Of course he does. Oh, it's cool. Apparently he's gonna keep it going.
I guess I'm gonna keep it going.
What a jerk! I'm gonna break things up. I'm not gonna pick Stu Sauce's song. I'm gonna pick Stu Sauce's song. Yes, I did.
Wow.
And then I'm gonna laugh about it. Ha 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 ha!
Now it's really funny.
Yeah, right.
All right, you're up, Stu. Why don't you continue this game?
Well, I'm definitely not gonna pick anything off of the Chronic because, well, you all know how I feel about Chronic. And
Smart man.
I'm gonna pick Explosive because apparently bro felt like it was a segue from like, I don't know, a diarrhea segue. So 4. Because apparently that song is the shiz.
It's a good thing, man. Nate Dogg is the hook master.
Yeah.
I feel like your whole rant didn't allow me time to even state my case. It was like, Rod, pass the baton to you. I got the short end of that stick.
There you go.
But
It's gonna be a lot of bleeps.
hey, man, you started it.
Get to work.
That's right.
All right, Rome, you're up.
And as much as I'd like to pick your song for all of that grief, I'm not gonna lie. I think as Dr. Dre got older and more experienced, he really learned to curb that whistle. But man, it's annoying and Let It Ride. It's annoying. I think I like every other track on the Chronic better.
He's like, yo, man, I was smoking this stuff called Death, and then I heard the whistle.
Yeah, and I like Jewel a lot, so that's just a sign that maybe my ears are sensitive to Dr. Dre's choice. And I don't normally question his choices, but you picked the one where I'm like, really, dog? Really?
Oh, me.
Doctor.
Okay. Oh, good. Number 4, Explosive.
Damn.
I'm just gonna be honest with you. I think I've heard the track maybe twice, and both times I'm like, all right, next. You know.
He felt like Ariana Grande in that one. Thank you, next. Thank you.
I think I literally said that once. I'm like, all right, thank you, Doc. Next. You know, it's good song. You know, but when I hear Dr. Dre, I don't hear that song.
So that'll be my number 3.
There you go. Okay.
So my number 3 has to be Let Me Ride. Because, again, that whistle, it is annoying. It is.
Yeah.
Not saying that it wasn't annoying when the first time I heard it, but when I got older and I knew that that was an instrument that I wouldn't necessarily have chosen for that one, I would have probably picked, like, I don't know, a different horn, get a mellower sound, something that doesn't really harsh my mellow. I don't know. Let Me Ride. I'm gonna let that song ride. Not even the good kind of ride, like Tesla need no driver kind of ride.
I agree with you. That's about it.
But that was your 4. It can't be your 3 as well.
No, your song was. Oh, my bad. What's your song called? Keep their heads
Ringing.
ringing. I like Friday though.
It's a great movie.
It's fun.
Thank you.
It is a great movie.
It's real.
I didn't know what
Great
number
movie.
we were at.
I know, you're an English teacher. It's okay.
I'm not a mathematician. I like the Chronic.
My number 3, Keep Their Heads Ringing. You know.
Let me help you out there.
Yeah. Thanks.
Oh, yeah, I thought I was going to put a 4 again.
So I'm going to go ahead and do a 2 and 1.
Yes.
My number 2 is actually going to be Let Me Ride. And number 1 is Nothing But a G Thing, because that thing is just classic.
There we go.
Classic.
Yeah,
we
my
go.
number 2
Classic.
is going to have to be... No, I ain't going to lie. Nothing But a G Thing is my number 2, because Keep Their Heads Ringing is my number 1. Like, straight up, I love that song.
Fair.
That song, like, if I'm in the zone, if I want to mess stuff up for the night, if I want to, like, you know, get swifty,
Yeah.
if I want to, like, be so tossed I can't remember tomorrow, I'm going to keep them heads ringing.
There you go. Okay.
I'm going to get
Yeah.
shifty in here. Go ahead.
So my number 2 song, has clearly not gotten its just due. It's my own song. It's explosive, and I don't know if any of y'all forgot, but when you think iconic Dr. Dre guitar, I know it's not one of his most famous songs, but you know that don't go da.
Yeah.
Don't go da.
Yeah.
That's why I picked that song. I never got
Yeah.
to say that, but that's why I picked that song, because that's the iconic Dr. Dre guitar, and I think Dr. Dre's beats reframed my thinking, my thought process around the guitar. So as you all know, I started playing the guitar because I wanted it into rock music. And then eventually you learn all the power chords and you're like, what else can the guitar do? And this was really like the first step into breaking out for me on the guitar. It's like, do less, play less, don't use so many effects. Clean DI into the computer is perfectly fine. And then there's like this call and response. When I was trying to demo out Green, this is the song I was using as a reference track to make every part hold its own place and have them speak to each other rather than speaking together or, like layering.
Okay.
So Explosive's my number 2, leaving room for Cody. Name Nothing But a G Thing, because it does use the whistle synth, but it blends it in so beautifully, and it's easily his best.
Okay, number 2. Well, number 1 is of course going to be my own selection, which leaves Let Me Ride. Same album, The Chronic, great. I feel like with artists, they have this pinnacle, right? Whether it's early in their career or it's later on in their career or it just hasn't happened yet, With Dre, I'll say this in a very mainstream way. You can find where some of his greatest work came out, and I might say that The Chronic is just that album. I mean, just being honest, it is. But yeah, definitely early on in his career. I understand he's like most artists that reach that height at a certain, point, and then he's involved with guys again like Snoop Dogg and is launching careers for guys like
Rinse,
Eminem.
repeat.
Yeah, So he becomes very established early on. No, let's talk about NWA first of all. We'll save that for another day.
I know.
Absolutely.
But let's talk
Is
about.
that the one with Flavor Flav?
No, that was Public Enemy.
Okay.
But anyway, Dre was already here. Him going off on his own.
Straight out of Compton?
Yeah, you should watch.
No. I'm straight from Hollywood.
Okay.
Never mind.
Well, there it is.
That says enough.
Yeah, that says enough. Dre was
I'm
here.
from Miami.
Yeah.
See, you at least lent some mystery and wonder. Oh, he's from across the way in Hollywood,
Right.
not across the country in Hollywood, Florida.
Right. Dre was here. Him doing all of the magical things and the most incredible things only elevated him. So, I'll ask this question: has he reached his pinnacle yet?
I think so.
I mean, all around, as an artist and as a producer.
Yeah, I think he peaked.
I
I think he
would
peaked
sure.
in the
I would say
thousands.
so.
I think he peaked with Chronic in
Sure.
2001. I think he peaked with some of his earlier artists like Eminem and NWA.
Sure.
Guilty
Um,
Conscience on that. Is it Marshall Mathers LP?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So when it comes to his sound, yes, he peaked. He's
Sure.
not saying he's over. It's just he's gotta. If he's gonna really do something, that
Mhm.
next big thing,
Yeah.
he's gotta. I feel like there's something about Dr. Dre that he needs to dive deep back into the archives and find what made him
Yes.
original again.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
He had a great original sound for the early thousands, but for what's happening right now with trap music coming
Yeah,
out and
yeah.
with the modernization of hip hop, or I don't even want to say the modernization of it, but the way they're
Digitization of it.
they're
Yes,
quantizing,
yes.
digitizing, incorporating different rock music and alternative things to make it more poppy and radio friendly.
Mhm.
Some of these things Dr. Dre would have to reinvent
Yeah.
to really keep his own sound, just like Pharrell would do it, and just like all these other great producers. I know that when I follow George Clinton, I'm
Mhm.
watching him reuse some of his ideas and then resurface some of the more modern sounds. And so, Dr. Dre, get on it, dude. I'm waiting for that next album to be doper than dope.
Yes, sir.
If one of your albums was called Chronic, maybe your next one could be called Dope.
That might be a little.
On that note, take us home, Stu.
Yeah.
All right. So we've heard some of the dopest tracks. One of them is, well, our number 4 is Explosive with 2 X's. In fact, it puts the X Y in explosive. Our number 3 song, what?
I didn't get it either, but
Is Let Me Ride. So let's just let that one ride. Okay, thanks. Number 2, keep the mother heads ringing, baby. And our number 1 is the Doctor's Own, Nothing But a G Thing. Not to be confused with Cisco's song, Nothing But a G String, baby. No, I'm kidding. That song was called That Thong, the Thong, Thong, Thong song. So that being said, baby, we are Xotic. Yeah, this has been the XY and Sexy. Tell everybody they're sexy. Tell your mama she's sexy. She doesn't hear it very often. No, I'm kidding. I'm sure Dad tells her all the time. And if he doesn't, well, Auntie of the Week, little Duval. Peace out.
XOTIC.